name is Jeremy Timmons, and I'd like to talk to you about the short story called The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. Tim O'Brien was born on October 1st, 1946. He grew up in the town of Worthington, Minnesota. He attended Macalester College and received a bachelor's degree in political science as well as a draft notice from there in 1968. Although he did not agree with the war, he participated in the Vietnam War from 1969 to 1970 and was one of the first few CIBs to return, which was a combat infantry badge holder. He was also one of the first CIBs to attend graduate school, especially at Harvard University, although that did not last long. He left Harvard University to be in an internship with the Washington Post to become a newspaper writer. From there, that's what led to his career in fictional writing, because that started when he had the publication of his memoir, If I Die in a Combat Zone. What I've noticed is Tim O'Brien and the short story Things They Carried have quite a bit in common. Both the main character, First Lieutenant Jimmy Cross, and Tim O'Brien both did not want to be in the war. The story is about Jimmy Cross and his struggles at war and what all him and his troops carried. They carried everything from, the different parts of their gear, and they talked about how much they weighed, to the different ammunitions, the different guns, even the more personal stuff that were not actually part of combat, such as their lucky charms, such as one had one of the Vietnamese kids' thumbs, rabbit's foot, the pebble that Martha, which was the girl that Jimmy Cross was in love with, gave him. Jimmy Cross also carried 2 letters from Martha, or 2 pictures in a letter. Also, like other people, one guy carried dope, another guy carried tranquilizers. They all carried multiple things. Not all were meant for war. And what you see is that they go from village to village, ransacking it, and they're just doing it kind of nonstop. They don't really see an end to what they're doing. And one day, their job was to blow up the underground tunnels that the Vietnamese had built. And when one of the troops went down there and they were all waiting for him to come out, Ted Lavender decided to go to the bathroom. Ted Lavender was shot on his way back, and that's when everything changed. What it went from was the point when, before he was shot and everybody was there, and they were just kind of mindlessly going over and over what they do day by day. They were, more concerned with their families or the women they might love back at home, such as you see with Jimmy Cross. All he ever seems to think about is Martha, and whether or not she's a virgin, whether or not she actually loved him, because as far as he knows, she doesn't actually love him. And, and you kind of get to hear about some of the other struggles that the other soldiers have, but nothing is really explained or described. And then after Ted Lavender died, that's when you see the change. The next village they get to, they completely decimate it. They shoot the chickens, they shoot the dogs, they burn everything, nothing lives. And then that's when Jimmy Cross realizes to be an effective leader, he's got to get out of the mindset of, I miss Martha, I want to see her. So he changes and becomes a leader he should be. He goes from, just thinking about Martha to, he actually burns her pictures in her letter, and he either swallows her pebble, dropped it on a trail, who knows, but he said he was going to get rid of it. And then he was no longer just, okay, you could drop gear, you could waste it. You made sure you carried it at all times. You never wasted anything, and you got your job done. You got it done quick and to the best of your possibility. What I think that this story really is supposed to mean, it's not about the actual physical things they carried. It's the mental and emotional stats that really are what mattered in the story. Because as you see, yes, physical weight has a huge bearing on somebody's life, but what you really see is what the effects of mental and emotional effects can have on somebody. You see how when Jimmy Cross wasn't really caring about what was going on, all he wanted to do was go see Martha, everything got flack. They wasted grenades, they wasted ammo, they even sometimes wasted food or articles of clothing. And, you could go off to the bathroom by yourself. It was almost like a game or a joke. Nobody really wanted to be there. Nobody ever really paid attention. When Ted Lavender died, you see a huge change. All of a sudden, everything became serious, and you see actually some sadness in the soldiers. Although you don't see it with them all together, you see them when they're separate. And they're, it's usually at night, and they're in their foxholes that they dug to sleep in, or whether they're in a tent or whatnot. So what I think the story is really about is the emotions and the mental effects that are carried, usually in war, and what it can do to a man. You almost have to transform your life, as you see in Jimmy Cross, to be what you need to be to get your job done. So what you need to carry isn't always what you feel is what's most important to you, because usually what's most important to you at the beginning isn't what really matters. So what I want to leave you with is if you were out at war or whatever you do in your life, what are you going to carry with you? Thank you.